Most people treat AI like a genie. They type a clever wish and wait to be amazed. That's exactly why it wastes their time. Here's the operator version, the actual system a busy solo founder uses to claw back about 10 hours a week, built as 6 steps that each hand off to the next. Start here, because everything else breaks without it. Stop thinking of AI as a genie you trick with the perfect prompt. Think of it as a sharp intern on day one. Fast, tireless, zero context about your business. A genie needs magic words. An intern needs a brief. The people getting real leverage aren't better at clever phrasing. They just paste in more context. The actual email thread, the client's website, last quarter's numbers, the 3 bullet points they'd tell a coworker. Context beats cleverness every single time. A vague one-line prompt gets you a vague, generic answer you then rewrite for 10 minutes, so you save nothing. A prompt with the real source material attached gets you something 80% done. The honest catch: gathering that context takes 2 minutes up front, and lazy people skip it, then blame the tool. Don't. Once you're briefing instead of wishing, the first place it pays off is the thing eating your morning: your inbox. Your inbox is where an hour disappears before real work starts. Point an AI assistant at it, but keep a hard rule: it drafts and sorts, it never sends. 2 jobs. First, triage. Have it label what actually needs you today versus what's noise, so you open 10 emails instead of 80. Second, drafting. For the replies you send constantly, the scheduling, the polite no, the same answer to the same question, let it write the first version using the thread as context, exactly like the last chapter. You read, tweak, hit send yourself. Realistically, that's 20 to 30 minutes back each morning. The catch is real and non-negotiable. Auto-send is a disaster waiting to happen, because AI will confidently reply to the wrong person or agree to something you didn't mean. A human eye stays on every outbound message. Same principle carries into the room where notes usually die: your meetings. You know the tax. You either half listen while scribbling notes, or you're present and forget the details by lunch. An AI meeting notes transcriber ends that trade-off. It records, transcribes, and hands you a summary with the decisions and action items pulled out. You stay fully in the conversation because the record isn't your job anymore. Call it 2 to 3 hours a week saved across calls, more if you're in back-to-back meetings. But close the loop with Chapter 2. Feed that transcript back to your assistant and have it draft the follow-up email, the recap, the next steps, all from real context it now has. The honest catch: transcription still garbles names, jargon, and crosstalk, so you skim before anything goes out, and you tell people you're recording. Now you've got a pile of transcripts and ideas, which sets up the highest leverage move: making one idea go further. Here's where solo operators waste the most creative energy, generating from scratch every single time. The shift is repurpose, don't regenerate. Take one thing you already made with your full attention: a solid blog post, a webinar, even a good meeting transcript from the last chapter, and use AI to reshape it into other formats. One article becomes a set of short posts, an email, a script outline, talking points. You're not asking the machine to invent ideas, which is where it gets generic and soulless. You're asking it to change the packaging of your idea, which is exactly what it's good at. That can turn 1 hour of real thinking into a week of content, maybe 2 to 3 hours saved versus starting cold each day. The catch: raw repurposed output sounds flat, and same why if you ship it untouched, so you add the specifics and the voice, which is the real skill underneath all of this: checking the work. Nobody makes a flashy video about this one, which is exactly why it's underrated. The quiet time sink for solo operators is messy data, a list of leads with names in 5 different formats, a sales export you need reshaped, survey answers to sort into themes, 2 spreadsheets that should be 1. This is where AI genuinely shines, because it's structured, repetitive, and tedious, the stuff you'd pay an assistant to do. Describe the cleanup in plain English, give it a sample, and it'll standardize the formatting, categorize the rows, or write the formula you can't remember. Easily an hour or 2 a week back, and it's work you were dreading anyway. The catch, and it's the big one: AI makes silent mistakes in data. It'll confidently mislabel a row or drop a decimal and never flag it. Which is why the final chapter isn't optional. It's the whole game: verifying. Here's the shift that ties the system together. Generating text, drafts, summaries, and tables is now basically free and instant. So the scarce skill, your actual job, moved to verifying. In every chapter, the pattern was the same. The AI did the heavy lifting, and you stayed on the hook for the final check. That's not a flaw in the workflow. That is the workflow. Read the draft before it sends. Skim the transcript before you forward it. Spot check the spreadsheet before you trust the number. Treat AI like a spreadsheet, not an oracle. Incredibly useful, occasionally and confidently wrong, never the final authority. Your one-page stack is boring on purpose. An assistant for inbox and drafting, a notes transcriber for meetings, a repurposing habit for content, a cleanup helper for data, and you as the verifier on all of it. Master the checking, and the 10 hours are real. That's the whole system. Brief it with context, triage the inbox, kill the notepad, repurpose one idea, clean the boring data, and verify everything. Because generating is free, but judgment isn't. 6 steps, about 10 hours back, no magic required. This channel exists to be your filter, so you run the tools that actually move a workflow and skip the hype that doesn't.